Okay, so these are going to be the items that I use when I do my brows. Of course, you probably won't need every item, or you might not need every item, but this is going to be my exact routine when I need to do my brows. So I have my Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, which I know sounds weird that I am about to shape and pluck my brows, but I'm using product. I have a spoolie. Now, the Anastasia has a spoolie on it. Mine actually broke, and I don't have a backup right now, so I have my spoolie. A pair of tweezers. They don't have to be fancy, you guys. I have a cheap pair, I think, from Revlon. So, pair of tweezers. You definitely don't need this, but I like this just to clean up around, and if you have kind of some unibrow action, that's good for that. A pair of scissors, preferably the small kind, used for manicures and things like that, but bigger ones do work. You just have to be really careful. And then for this video, I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Compact for the mirror only. I usually sit at my desk and do this with a bigger mirror, but because I'm filming for you guys today, I needed something a little smaller and a little more compact. So that is why I'm using my Jeffree Star. But other than that, you know, you can just sit in front of your bathroom mirror and do this, as long as you have something to look at while you're doing it. So let's get into the video. Okay, so here you can see my eyebrow. I have no makeup on, as you can see, my dark circles as well, and my oily skin. We are keeping it 100% real for you guys
Natural,
today.
baby.
So these are my eyebrows. So I start with my spoolie and I just comb them up. I've let my eyebrows grow out with the intention to do this video, so hopefully you guys can see my routine and hopefully it helps you as well. So I basically just comb my eyebrows up. And then what I do is I take my pencil and I use my pencil as a guideline for where I don't want to remove hair from. You guys, you know, sometimes you overpluck and you completely ruin the shape of your brows. I started doing this technique a few months ago when I got really lazy and I didn't want to do my own brows. And I went to someone to do my brows and she took off most of my brow. And someone can just ruin your whole life with your brows. So I started using this technique. So basically I go ahead and where I would typically draw in, because I don't have too many sparse areas, so I don't draw in a full brow, but I do shade it in the places that need help. So I go ahead and draw that outline of hair that I do not want to get rid of. So basically anything on the line or above the line does not get touched. That way I don't accidentally pluck something that I need to make a fuller brow. And that's all you need to do with the pencil. Now I'm using my Anastasia today, but you guys can literally buy a cheap $1 brow pencil for this, because you know, if you don't want to waste your product, why should you? It's obviously it's a $20 pencil, so go get yourself a really cheap pencil and use it for the sake of, you know, doing this with your brows. Okay, so once I have that outline there, you guys, I go ahead and comb my brows back up. Now this step I actually don't need too much of, because it hasn't been, even though my brows are super grown in here, my hair just grows really fast, so it hasn't been that long. But what I do is, and you can use a pencil to guide this for you. I've done this so many times that I kind of just know where to go. But I follow this natural groove of where my brow kind of ends up there. Do you see where I'm tracing it with the spoolie? So then when I comb my brows up, any of that super long hair that falls way over that line, usually it's a lot more than this. As I said, my hair hasn't grown that much since I've done them last. Usually what I do is then I take my scissor and very carefully cut that hair that sticks straight up off. So because I don't have a lot of it today, I can't actually show you guys how it looks when you do it because there's not too much of it and I don't want to mess up my natural shape here. But basically, you're just gonna comb all that extra hair up. You can even use clear mascara to keep it in place for you. And then just take your scissor. Don't accidentally cut your like finger off or anything. I feel like I just like almost like cut my hair. And then you're just gonna snip all that extra off. But since I don't have any, I'm just showing you guys what you would be doing. So that's the next step. Okay. So now the very last step obviously is going to be removing all of this extra hair that's below that line. So I'm not gonna fully pluck my whole brow on camera for you guys, but I'm gonna show you kind of the basics of how to just follow that guideline. You guys will be able to see where you drew that line. Don't pluck any hair that's on that line or above that line, but everything else is free game.
This is like amazingly satisfying to watch you do.
Really?
I literally love this.
That's so funny.
Pluck a million brows on camera.
That's so funny.
Oh my god, it's like all of it's going away.
So as you guys can see, now I'm starting to really clean up that brow and I'm not touching anything that I need. So that's the most important thing here. As I said, I started this technique when I had someone kind of really mess up my shapes. She made them almost round and I don't even know how she did that because I have a natural arch in my brows. So she like made them round and I had to draw them in to be the shape that I like. And when I had to do that, I really wanted to focus on not removing hair that I needed. And so when I was doing the upkeep between, I just really didn't want to lose any of that hair that I needed. So as you can see, most of this is cleaned right now, or clean right now. I don't know why I said cleaned. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you when you get closer to that line how you wanna just be extra careful. If you guys start to kind of be confused or not be able to see that line, just go ahead and comb your hair right back up into place so that you can see exactly where you wanna remove that hair. And then when you get closer to that line, just don't go as fast. Lift your brows up. Now, if I had another hand available, because I'm using one hand to hold my mirror, for this video, but if I had both hands available, I can obviously pull my brow into place where I need it, and that makes the skin really taut so that you can really just grab those hairs. If you're doing this like me for some reason with a compact, just be really careful about where you grab those hairs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in right by that line and just get those hairs. Some of them are being a little stubborn. So okay. I'm gonna go right in there. Okay, and then what the last step is to go ahead and use that shaver. And what I do is I just go down and shave any extra little hairs that might be on top. I don't go crazy with this step because I don't want to ruin my shape. And if you have any like unibrow in the middle, then go ahead and get that. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I still have a couple of little stragglers there, but I don't want to make this a 30-minute long brow video. But you can see that a lot of that hair was removed, and now I have the perfect area to go ahead and fill in any sparseness, and I didn't lose any of the hair that I need along this line. Okay, so this is my brow when I fill it in. Again, I use that Anastasia brow pencil, the Brow Wiz. I'm shade soft brown. So then to clean up my brow, so I'm not doing a face of makeup, but I just wanted to show you guys what that would look like. So you can use any concealer to do this. I'm using the Lock-It Concealer by Kat Von D. So I just like put my brow up, and I start a little bit lower than that brow, that line, to give myself some room for error. And then I just buff that up. Using, this is a Morphe brush, but it doesn't have, it's just a thin brush. It doesn't have a name. It wasn't cool enough for that, I guess. So then I just buff that down, and sometimes if I'm doing makeup, I just use my finger to kind of dab it down a little bit. I have some setting powder that I use on my brow as well, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of cleaning that up and what that looked like. And then if you want to do a little bit on top, I mean, it depends on how dramatic you want your brow to be. You can always put a little bit more on top as well and kind of really carve that brow out. I don't do that step, not necessarily, but you can do it to kind of really clean it up. So mostly I just stay down here and make that line really sharp, and that's it, you guys. So that is my brow tutorial. This is exactly how I do my brows. Usually I do it in the tub, which I know sounds weird, but it's just it's my relaxation time. But yeah, that is my brow tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you found some useful tips. And let me know down below if you were able to use anything, or if you have something similar that you do, or if you have any tips for me. I'll catch you in my next video, you guys.